All right, welcome back. Well, we're going to go into the consumer tech segment now and get into a very important conversation. Now, this thing, you think about it, how throughout our lives we all use these gadgets every day, literally, and yet we go through all the various drama and situations with these gadgets, and we don't know how to actually solve them because we don't have a good enough understanding of how they work. Well, Eddie Opoku, he's here with us today. He's going to help us to understand how these things work and thereby cutting short all the drama that we have been going through and the difficulties we have been experiencing.
Eddie, there are certain things that... Welcome, Eddie.
There's
certain things that you are going to get, and as far as they are concerned, so for instance, we are talking about extension boards.
Yeah.
You want somewhere to plug your something.
That's all you need.
You are even looking at the pins, which one can fit which one. So mostly that is what you are looking out for. But sometimes you ask yourself, but extension board is extension board. Is extension board not extension board?
Extension board is not extension board.
But what is it?
None of them are made the same and for the same purposes. Now, even the terms that we use, calling it an extension board. You see, sometimes you say extension cord. There's a difference between an extension cord and an extension board.
Okay.
So extension cord is meant to, in your house, you have a wiring system put together.
Yes.
And the way it's put together is based on the functions of the various sockets and places where it has to provide different sorts and kinds of power. So we have the basic item in that wiring equation is the wire. Okay. Yeah. Now, there are so many different types of wire, but the main thing is that there's some copper in there that allows electric energy to travel from one place to the other. Now, based on what a socket is meant to do, they're going to use a different gauge of wire, which meaning that it's going to be of a certain thickness. If you take the wire, for example, inside here, you have some strands. Some of them you have a solid copper, cable in there. Okay, what you have on it, this rubber, is just insulation. So that they don't come into contact with each other, and per chance, if you are working on it too, you don't come into direct contact with the electric energy in there. Okay, so based on that, the electrician or whoever is putting together that wiring system is going to put different socket, different types of socket. That is why when you go to your kitchen, for example, you have a kind of socket and it's labeled cooker.
Yes.
And you realize that the receptacles in it are different from the ones that you have spread around your house generally.
Really?
Okay, because it takes a higher amperage. Okay, it can take in current that is heavier because your microwave oven, your rice cooker, your electric cooker, your fridge, they really pull power. Serious loads of kettle, especially. Those things are between 1,000 to 2,000 watts, which is really, really, really high. Right. If you put that on an extension board, one of these things, extension board, we call them, it allows you, essentially what this allows you to do is to extend the reach of your electric source.
Right.
So maybe like a sound system or something, or a computer.
Exactly.
No, so let me understand it properly. You are saying that it's not a good idea to, for instance, plug your fridge on the extension board. What will happen?
It's not. it can catch fire.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because what happens is that the amount of electric energy, the load that is being pulled through the cable is higher than it's supposed to. The thing is that these things are, you find them all around.
Yeah.
Okay, but how do you know that this particular extension is suited for what you are using it for?
Yeah.
Okay? You just have some jumbo mambo written on it. Okay, this one says 2,500 watts. But how are you sure it can
we
really...
We don't know.
You can't tell.
Yeah.
And I can bet you that most of them this can't handle 2,500 watts.
Really? So for us,
even if it says 2,500 watts, it means that 2,500 watts is spread across. Yes. Okay, so if you are plugging a 2,000
so how many
watts.
ports are here for? Is that there are 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it means maximum of 500 per port.
Exactly. That is if this is original proper one. Yes. Okay. So if you plug in your iron, that is 2,000 watts. Okay, you put your microwave, that is another.
No, you are burning the house down. You are burning the house
exactly.
down. But we buy with brand names. Yeah. You know, so you get that said, oh, is this name? Then it's
brand
okay.
names are not really bad because you know certain brands will sell you very good quality items. Yes. Okay, so I think brand names are a good place to start when you are shopping for them, because you want to know that the 2,500 max rating is really what it is. So I trust this brand that when they say it's 2,500, it is really 2,500. Okay, so it's not a bad place to start. Yeah. But then you also have to verify or get somebody who knows what they're about to really tell that it is good quality. Okay, otherwise, yeah.
So does that mean that I should get maybe an electrician to buy my extension boards?
If you have an electrician you really trust, yeah, it's a good way to go. Another item that we have to look at is that, for example, this extension board is fused. Okay, comparing this to the wiring in your homes. Now, another additional safety feature of the wiring in your home is that there are circuit breakers. Yeah. And the circuit breakers all combine into what we call the circuit board or circuit box. Yeah. So sometimes you are in the house, you plug something, poof, then the lights go off. Then you go into some corner, open the thing, then you switch it, then it comes back on. That's a circuit breaker.
Theophilus who always does that for me.
So what that circuit breaker does is that when it senses that the load that is being pulled through the wires in your house is over, then it will switch it off. Okay, so you have to, whatever you plugged in before it went off, you have to make sure you disconnect it, then you switch it back on, then maybe go and sort out that device.
Wow. Right.
But for the extension boards, a lot of them don't have that feature in it. Okay, if you are lucky, you get one that comes with this 3-pin. Plug will be so I would say that if you are shopping for a multi-socket, make sure you have one with a 3-pin, because this is fused. There's a fuse in it. So if the load is too much,
is it written somewhere?
Yes, it's written on it, fused. Yes, but as usual, you know there are a lot of imitation products on the market.
Yeah, so even the fuse.
So what should we do?
Yes, so I mean that is why we are talking about it. We are educating the masses. So that, I mean, the fact that it says fused is a good place to start. Okay, then you know that at least there is some level of protection. Yeah. Some of them also having built-in surge protectors. Okay, so when we talk about surge, we are talking about the electric energy in your house going up all of a sudden. Yes, fluctuation. Yes, fluctuation, surges, spikes. They are all in the same category. So if you have a surge protection in your extension cable, then you have double protection from all those kind of things. So it's also protecting your devices.
So now I see 3.
Yes, I mean they're just a variety of the same thing.
So they do basic the same thing.
Yes, this is a higher quality product. This one usually we use them in corporate and industrial. You know, this is what we use here. So you see, it has a surge protector built into it, so you know that you have all the protection, because we have very, very expensive equipment here, so we want to use these very expensive extensions.
So for instance, if I have this at home, can I use it for my fridge, kettle and stuff?
Like I mentioned earlier, as much as possible, fridges, microwave, electric cooker, kettles, plug them straight, especially with that socket that says cooker. Okay, if even you don't have that one, you just plug it directly. And
now, you'll be noticed something. I noticed something. These ones that are imported, you have the types that are manufactured locally, on wooden boards. You know, those tend to be, if I can use the word, hardier. Than these types.
Yes.
If you can. Like this one.
Yes. Like this. Yes. I mean, hardier does not necessarily mean that it is safer. So it can be hardier and same term, you know, but it is safer. The person who put it together, how much of electrical knowledge do they know? Did they put it together properly? Did they put together the necessary safeguards? That is what I cannot assure you. So although it looks steadier, you might have used one before and it worked flawlessly. Another time it might not. You are not guaranteed. So I mean, if you want to go
because
into
they do
that,
them like this, they build them like this, but there are no specifications on it. There's
Yeah,
no details as
exactly.
to
But those that are also coming with some specification might be fake.
Yes, they might be fake. But at least it's a starting point.
But at least the local person who did that for you, you can go to him. You know. But if you buy
it depends on where you bought it from. If you bought it in traffic, where are you going to find you?
I'll buy in traffic.
Okay.
Yes.
Eddie, I want to do some mischief.
Yeah. Yes.
Freba.
Yeah. Well, something come and kiki me for you. Yeah.
Show me the live.
I don't know.
Show me the live and show me the neutral.
Oh, but why?
Oh, yeah, okay, so
I did arts in
there's
school.
an earth, there's a live, there's a neutral. Show me which one is
Chabad, I did arts in school. Meaning.
Okay, pick one.
She doesn't need to know.
Okay, pick one.
Before you get somebody electrocuted. Let's put that away. We are not going to go into that one today.
Explain to us.
Because I don't want somebody to get electrocuted.
How is she going to get electrocuted?
Get the electrician.
I don't want to
do
know.
it.
I
to
beg
handle that one
Yes.
for you,
Okay.
please.
By the way, I do
Yes.
all these things at home by myself.
No, you are Kweku.
No, you are pro.
You are Kweku.
You are Superman. You are Superman.
No, I'm not. No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
But Eddie, so quickly,
Yes.
just take us through, in terms of steps, things to look out for when you are going to get an extension board. And also an adapter, multi-purpose adapter.
Multi-socket
and multi-socket, yes. And do you also, so for instance, sometimes we say we need a fridge guard. Where does that also come in and all that?
So, okay, let me start from the fridge guard.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the fridge guard, like I mentioned earlier, it's basically a surge spike protector.
So you need it.
Yes. Being that some devices are very, very sensitive to the quality of the electric energy. Okay. And one case in point is the fridge. And another thing about the fridge, and sometimes also about the air conditioner, is that you run them for long hours. And especially the fridge, a lot of time when it's running, you're not even there. Okay. So you need that protection to protect the fridge and also to protect your home. Just in case you are not there and something happens, that thing is going to protect you. And like I said, a rule of thumb: start with a company you know, a brand you know, a merchant you know. Okay, so if you have a problem, you can go to Uncle Kweku. Uncle Kweku, I bought this thing from you, and this is what happened. Okay, yes. In some cases, you have insurance and other things to take care of you. I mean, I would say if you cannot afford it, insure your home.
Of course.
Yes, insure your home so you can take care of some of these things. Then also, you have the labels, for example. Even the devices that you use, they all have the requirement label on the power adapters, what we call the power break, power adapters, power supply units. They have the label, and it states what wattage, what amperage that device consumes. So you have to make sure that you supply the correct one. And at the same time, if you are running them on extension boards also, you make sure that in your mind, you calculate and make sure that you are not overloading. If you overload it, it will start melting. And eventually
that's why sometimes you find that you have an iron in an extension board and you leave to go to the bathroom and come, and by the time you come back, the plug has melted into the extension board
and it's fused together.
Oh,
my goodness, that is a fire hazard.
And guess what? Some people don't stop there. They will now be using the iron as an extension of the extension board.
Yes. You see, because they don't understand what is happening. Okay. Now, immediately it melts. It is a sign that you have to stop using that particular extension board. Change the plug on the iron. Just throw that extension board somewhere and go and buy a higher quality one. And like I said, for an iron, don't run it through an extension board. Okay. If you have to, then you have to certify that the extension board that you are using is rated enough. Then again, if you see this reel of extension, you see how it's wound together. Okay. A lot of times you run them when it's wound together. If you are just using it for a short moment, you can do that. But for long hours, because it is wound together, you have to uncoil them. Otherwise, the heat will build up and it can also
But you know how many people understand all these?
That is why you have to be watching Citi TV.
Fantastic. You mentioned that you have to read the inscription on it. Sometimes you're even reading the inscription, you don't understand what they are saying. You know, so you have electrical appliances at home. They tell you that 2000 watts. You don't even know your fridge capacity. No, hold on. No, not just me. You get it? There are other people who can send you WhatsApp.
Exactly.
You know, and you just mentioned that if the extension board gets melted, for instance, you plug the iron into it and then it's destroyed. Leave it, throw it somewhere, go and get a higher quality one. How do you determine? Because you went in there buying this thinking it was quality.
Thinking it was quality.
Is it about how much it cost? Is it, you know, how would you know?
Right. I mean, quality comes at a price, but it will be very difficult for you to judge the quality of an item just by the price.
Especially in our
That is why I said several factors. The brand.
Okay.
Who is behind it?
Okay.
The vendor. Who are you buying it from? Can you ask more questions? Do you trust that vendor?
Should you buy an extension board in traffic? Because they sell them in traffic.
No way. Okay.
No electronic gadgets whatsoever in traffic.
Yes, I
anything
would
that
say
you
so.
cannot test.
Yes, I would say so.
I think I
would say so.
Like
I mean,
No, but you know they sell them in traffic.
oh yes.
Okay.
At this time, I would say that we have to implore the standards authority to really go down to the markets, to the shops, and make sure that the quality products, and also at the point of entry of these things into the market, because that is where the issues are. Because I mean, between the three of us, we can off the top of our head, we can say that all the extension boards we've had issues with are all from somewhere with some kinds of labeling on it. So they are not what they seem. So whoever checked that item at the ports wasn't doing a thorough job. Or maybe they show the quality one, and after the certification was given, they say, oh,
they add.
yeah. So, yeah. Then let me just add to
in 30 seconds
the multi-sockets. You see, the multi-socket, okay, it has all those different receptacles on it because they are meant for travel. Okay. So, for example, if I travel from Ghana to France, they use a different kind of receptacle. Yes.
Okay.
So that is when I use that. But that doesn't mean because you are seeing a lot of receptacles on it, then you want to plug one here.
When you plug it next to your bed, it's easier because you can
but when you do that,
when
you do that, they are going to overheat.
Yeah.
They are going to start burning, and it's one of the causes of household fires. I would say that if you need multiple, sockets, just get an electrician to build them into the house. Okay, it will cost you a pretty penny, but you are saving your investment.
Exactly. No, Eddie, I have been very much educated. Thank you very much for this.
Welcome.
I'm sure you have been educated because you thought extension board is extension board. Nope. So now you know. Thank you very much, Eddie.